As a quiz or a test, because it's neither. As you know, quizzes are worth half as much as tests. It's a quest. Someone already asked me this. I'm going to weight it exactly halfway in between. How about that? Okay? Just because I can. Carmen, sit down. Dan, hurry up. When do you? All right.
Wait, what is it out of?
100%. Do we ever want to divide fractions? You don't. Okay? Yeah. We actually, I don't know if other teachers do this, but I model this in grade 8, and even the 99% kids go, well, what? Why is he doing that? Because we're supposed to. And then I say, you know what? Don't worry about it. All you're going to do is flip the denominator and multiply. Okay? You don't want to do that. You want to multiply it. Now it's the same as yesterday's. Okay? So don't ask me why it works. That's what we kind of show you in grade 8, because it does. That's what we're going to do. Okay? You can multiply it out and then simplify it, but what should you do? You should simplify it first. So what are common between 7 and 3? Not much. By the way, this is the same as this, right? 7 times 14 divided by 10 times 3. It's the same thing. What does that x do in between there? Not a heck of a lot. 2 goes into 10 5 times. 2 goes into 14 7 times. Can I reduce anything else? Doesn't really look like it. So that's 7 times 7 on the top and 5 times 3 on the bottom. And I should still not be able to simplify it because I couldn't before. Yes. Well, what's common between 14 and 10? 2. Goes in there 5 times, goes in there 7 times. Okay. All right.
What if 14 for the 7 was? Can you still reduce it?
Yes. Okay. So.
Can you do 3?
Yes. As many as you have, that's what you'd reduce.
Okay, so if it was like 8, 14, 10, and 3, could we do 8, 14, 10 with 3? Can you reduce 3 terms?
Which? That's the question. Ask me after, okay? All right. What do we do with this guy? I got a divided by and a multiply. Well, you remember bed mass?
Yep.
Yeah. So multiply those things first. Then flip them around and multiply it. Okay? So I got 6 fifths. Shh, guys, quiet please. Divided by 9 times 1 is 9 over 200. Can I simplify anything there first? Not really. Otherwise, I would have. Okay? Then, do I want to divide fractions? Do you guys know how to do that? How many times does 9 200ths go into 6 fifths? Anybody have an idea? I sure don't. Okay? We're going to flip the second guy and multiply it. Okay? Do I need those brackets there? No. But now, can I simplify this first? You bet. How many times does 5 go into 200? 5 goes into 24 times, and I have another 0, so 5 goes into 240 times. Okay? 6 and 9, can I reduce those? 3 goes in there twice, 3 goes in there 3 times. Anything else I can do? Not really. 3 goes into 40? No. 3 goes into 2? Doesn't make any sense. 2 times 40 is 80. 3 times 1, if you like, is 3. Okay, so that's 80 thirds. Okay, so that would have been, I don't know, what grade did you do things like that? 8? 9 maybe? I don't know. Okay, but we get variables. At this stage, do not state restrictions. Okay, well, I'll say that in a minute. So let's not worry about that for now. What do you want to do? You just want to flip it. Okay, and multiply. So that's on the top now. That's on the bottom. And start hacking and slashing. Is there any pluses and minuses here? Well, nope. So I can cancel anything on the top to anything on the bottom. I don't have to see if it's common in both two places where there might be a plus sign in between those two things. Okay, so 16 and 32. How many times does 16 go into itself? Once. You can write the 1 if you like. 16 goes into 32 2 times. 3 goes into 9 3 times. 3 goes into 15 5 times. Got an A on the top. I have 2 A's on the bottom. A goes into itself once. A goes into A squared A times. Okay? Or like I said, you got 1 A on the top, you have 2 A's on the bottom. Okay? Simplify that, you get 1 A in the bottom. The only other thing I can do probably here is the B's, right? I got a B on the top, I have 2 on the bottom, so now I have 1 on the bottom. Anything else? The problem with writing 1s is don't think that's an 11, okay? So, you know, that's 1 times 5. And on the bottom we have 3 times B times 2 times A, or 6AB, if I wanted to put them in order of the alphabet. That's fully simplified. Okay? So again, if it's really, really big and ugly like ones yesterday, you probably want to break it down into a couple steps, but if you're nice and neat, maybe that'll work too. Okay? Again, how many different ways could I do this question? 30. Okay? How's this different than yesterday? I just want to flip the last thing and then I'm multiplying. Okay? Should I bother doing it? Same as yesterday. Okay? With the exception of flipping that. You probably want to do that first. You want to simplify this as you're doing that. Okay? Some people would, some people wouldn't. All right? Now, non-permissibles, you know you can't have them in the denominator. It's fine if you have them in the numerator. This thing could be 0 divided by something, right? I just can't have a 0 in the denominator. But what happens here when there's a divided by? This said can't be 0, can it? Because it's a denominator. And then when I flip this thing, well, I'm just introducing a new denominator, aren't I? Now, x can't be 0 either. Y can't be 0, okay? So you just have to look at where your divided by is. Every variable here can't be 0. Because it's a denominator here. When you flip it, now it's a numerator. It still can't be 0, okay? So you just have a couple choices to make. All right, running through the example they have, I got AB divided by CD. These are all variables. I don't know what they are, but I know for AB, the non-permissible value is B can't be 0, right? I can't divide by 0. For CD, D can't be 0. So I have these two denominators. But like I just said, when I divide this, these guys flip around. So I'm introducing a new non-permissible value of C. Can't be 0. All right? So I'm not here to try to trick you on the test, but you know, you might get a couple where you have to think when you're dividing, you got both variables on the top and the bottom that you can't do it with. All right? So, read the question carefully. Does it say simplify it? No, it just says state the restrictions. So what can't be 0 here? B can't be 0. B still can't be 0. What's the other one I get from doing this because it's divided by? A. A can't be 0 also. Okay? This guy, X, Z, that's it for now. Can't be 0. Is there something else I want to add here though? Yeah. When I divide that, Y is going to be on the bottom, so none of those can be 0. Yes. Okay.
Then on the one example where it just had A over B divided by C over D, and these can't be 0
And B. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. None of these can be 0. The only one who can be 0 is A. Okay? All right? That's just the wording they have, yes. Okay, so this, all we're going to do is flip this, okay? Multiply, looks like it's going to be the same thing, not much difference there. Let me go on to this guy because it looks a little different. What's the first thing you probably want to do with B? 4x plus 12 over 3x plus 12. You probably want it to look like this. Okay? Because you got 3 lines there, don't you? Okay? You probably want to write it like that. First step, before I do anything else, I'm just going to rewrite it. Now you can visually see which one you're going to flip. Okay? And I know right away there's a couple of you out there going, I don't need to do that. I can do that in my head. Okay? Well, I'm not here to try to, Dannon, tell you what to do, Dannon, but Dannon, you might make a mistake if you're trying to do this in your head. Okay? How long does it take me to write this out, Dannon? 8 seconds is not worth your time. Okay, well, now he's thinking, oh, that's a challenge. I'll show him. I'll do it on the test and I'll get it right. I'll do my work over here and I won't even hand it in. He's not going to know. Okay, this is what I strongly recommend, but I'm not here. I'm not going to twist your arm, okay? So do that. And what do we want to do next? Let's factor this. Can I take a 4 out of there? Sure. Okay, the bottom, let's take a 3 out. Okay, and then let's get rid of that divided by. Let's make it a multiply. Okay, and that now is on the top. I'm going to do this in lots of steps. That now is on the bottom. Okay, all I did was flip the second one so I can multiply. Now it just looks like yesterday's stuff. Okay, so do I need this dot in between these? Or can I just make this one big continuous line? What does this dot do? Nothing. Like, why didn't I put a dot here after the 4? Why didn't I put a dot here? Okay? I don't need that. So this is 4x plus 3. What's x plus 4 squared? X plus 2 times x plus 2 all over...
Isn't x plus 4 squared?
Oh, yeah, okay, sorry, good. Maybe it was me who filled up with donuts at lunch. No, it wasn't. Okay, yeah, thanks. 3x plus 4 and 3x squared plus 9x. What do I want to do with this? that a difference of squares? No, no difference. What can I do? Well, I can take a 3x out, and then I have x plus 3. Again, what a coincidence. Do we see an x plus 3 up here too? Yeah. X plus 4 is top and bottom. Hey, what a coincidence, right? Okay, what does this become? Well, right at this point, maybe we want to do restrictions now, or you can come back to it. Okay? Again, I like, I don't like, but I usually do the question first and then go, oh, wait a minute, I forgot. When you cancel that, though, okay, you're going to lose a restriction unless you keep that in mind. That over that, it's gone. Why can I do that? Shoni. Why can I do that? Because there's no pluses or minuses. Yeah, it's this divided by that, and xy, I can do it there too, okay? So I'm just trying to, if there's no plus or minus here, right? You don't have to do it in two different spots, just it over itself. What do I have now? 4 times x plus 4 over 3 times 3x, which is 9x. And that's how I want to leave it. Okay, don't multiply the 4 and the x plus 4. I know it's 4x plus 16. Why bother? Just leave it in factored form. Now, restrictions. What can't I do? X can't be, it can't be 0. It can't be negative 4. It can't be, what does this become? X plus 3, negative 3. Okay? But what were these? Remember this one? What makes this thing 0 here? Negative 4, right? It doesn't matter if it's there once or if it's there twice. And I already have it, so it doesn't matter. Okay? So again, just think when you flip it, you might lose one of them. So you got to go back and check. Okay, that's it. Not so bad. All right. Got a trinomial. Again, all we're going to do is flip this. It's going to kind of look like yesterday's. So I want to go on to bigger and better things. Okay, there's brackets here. So you might want to do that first. Okay, but do you really have to? Again, what does this mean? Everything on the top's multiplied by itself. Everything's on the bottom is multiplied by itself. This we're just going to flip. So don't do this in your book, but everything there is going to go to the top, right? And everything here is going to go to the bottom. Now, like I said, there's 10 ways to do this question. I could just do that first. Don't do anything else. Just write this on the bottom, write that on the top, and make it multiply. And then I don't even need this multiply, do I? I could just make it one big line, then start simplifying. Or maybe you want to do that first, work it down, see what it is, okay? Then flip it when you can't work it anymore. There's lots of ways to do this question. Let's start with that. What can I do with 20m squared and 30m? I could take 10 out. I could take an m out. So let's start there. That goes in there, 2m plus 3 times. Okay, might as well work the bottom. It looks like we got quite a bit of work going on. What can I take out of 9 minus 4m squared? Nothing. But yes, it's a difference of squares. Okay, square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 4m squared is 2m. One's a plus, one's a minus. Do we see something that'll cancel already? Okay, let's pretend we don't. I'm just going to flip this first, okay? So everything on the bottom is going to go to the top. All I'm going to do is rewrite it. without this multiply in the way. Was that the denominator? Reese, you happy with that? Okay, right? Again, I don't need this here, do I? That says exactly the same thing. Brackets. And then what does this x do? Nothing. Okay? On the bottom now, I have 11m cubed minus 11m, bracket, bracket, 2m plus 3. Hey, I think I've seen one of those before. Okay? So once you have it like that, I know I've said this 9 times, let's make it 10. What does that x do there? Nothing. Okay? Don't even need it. So this thing, let's cancel it now. That divided by itself, get rid of it. Because this isn't a plus. I don't have to find it in 2 different spots. This is all multiplied. So you just need to cancel out factors top to bottom. Okay? So I have 10m left times, what is this guy? Looks like a trinomial. You probably want to do that off to the side. Okay? Who would do that by inspection? I'm curious. Just try to throw down a couple set of brackets and try to piece it together? Yeah. A is not 1, but I mean, what's going to multiply to 2m squared? Now, do you guys want me to do it the other way too? Okay, that's your only choice to get to 2m squared. What's going to multiply to negative 3? You got a choice. Is it 1 and 3 or is it 3 and 1? One of these has got to add up to negative 1. That would be like 6m and 1m, either that's 7 or 5. That doesn't seem to work. So this would be 3m, 2m. That could get me to minus 1. Okay, I want minus 3m plus 2m, that's minus m. Let's check it. 2m squared, check. 2m minus 3m, that's minus 1m, and negative 3 times 1 is minus 3. Okay, and then I have another m minus 1 here. On the bottom, 3 minus 2m times, what do I want to do with this guy? Is that a difference of squares? Not yet. What's common between here and here? 11m, m squared minus 1. Now is that a difference of squares? You bet. And then my good old 2m plus 3, but I already canceled that one away. Okay, what now? Anything we can cancel? Got a 10 on the top, got an m on the top, got an m plus 1, m minus 1, 2m minus 3. Yeah, there's a difference of squares. I could rewrite this just changing that. You want me to do that? You see that this is the same as this? We're good with that? Okay, let's get rid of it. What else can I cancel? Sorry? Okay, let's not get complicated. Yes, you can. Is there something I can cancel right now? M divided by m is 1. Now, someone's saying this kind of looks like this, but not quite. So, you know what? Let's just rewrite it. I'm going to go over here. 2m minus 3. I got 3 minus 2m times 11 times 2m plus 3. Oh, thank you. Ooh, and yes, so now you make sure you got to bracket those, right? It'd be nice if the 10 11ths would cancel out, but I don't see it. Okay, can I do something here? What did I cross out? What? because m divided by m is 1. Get rid of it. Yeah, -1 trick. Okay, where do you want to do it? Doesn't really matter. Let's make that a -10. Then that will change the signs on these guys. Okay, but check it before you go on. This gives me 20m. Is that 20m? Yes. That gives me -30. Is this -30? Yes. That's the same as this. Okay? Over, well, let's write it that way. -2m plus 3. Same as that. Let's put the 11 out front. And I got a 2m plus a 3 down there. So the last thing, I think, is that. And then I got -10 over 11, 2m plus 3. And that doesn't look like what I have in the book. You know why? Well, these are big and ugly, right? It's easy to make a mistake.
What is the answer?
They have an M there. Does anyone see where I missed an M?
Yeah, because they're attached to a code. So, yeah, there you go.
Is this, but that's the same as this. 10M, right? It's just an M over an M. That's fine.
Oh, I know. It's because when you take m squared minus 1 over the m minus 1, when you cancel those out, you still don't have. Wouldn't you?
No,
No.
that's M plus 1, M minus 1. That one's okay.
I don't know
But
how,
is it-
like, I just know that, like, I did it a different way, but I still got the same thing.
Is that right? Well, you know, maybe the book's got a mistake. I don't know.
Like, I just took the -1 out of the bottom, so I have -11, 2 at plus 3, but it doesn't matter that way. But I had the same.
Okay. You know what? I don't know. I'm happy with that. Okay, now the fun part. What's the restrictions? Yippee-yi-oo. Okay. Well, M cannot be 3 over 2, -3 over 2. What else? Can't be 0. What else? We missed this one. Plus or minus 1. Does that catch them all? I think so. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 restrictions. As long as M isn't those, that's your answer. Okay? Now, the fun one, because that wasn't fun. That was just an appetizer. This is your main course. First thing you probably want to do is this. Divided by the bottom guy, right? That's a bad divided by. Okay? But what do you flip? How do you flip that? Maybe it's helpful if we think like that. Okay, do you see what to flip? Is it like a over 5 plus 4? Or is it a over 5 plus 4 over 1? Or is it 1 over that whole thing? Don't hurt your head. Think bed mass. Can we do something with this first? Can we make it so that it has a line over everything here? That's what you want to do. And while we're at it, we want to do this too. So this question, yeah, if you didn't notice, we're adding, subtracting, dividing, we're going to multiply. It's got it all in one question. Okay? So let's work over here. What's that? What's my common denominator? 1a, yeah, okay. A goes into itself one time. I know I don't have to write the 1 there. 1 times 5. Plus, what's the denominator here? If you like to write it, write it. 1 goes into A how many times? A times 4. Okay, so this thing is the same as 5 plus 4a over a. Everybody happy with that? Can I tell you another way to think about it? Let's go way down here. 5 over a plus 4. Can I multiply 4 by 1? Does that change it? No, I can multiply it by 1. Can I still multiply it by 1? Yes, of course. Can I still multiply it by 1? Yeah. But now I have a common denominator, and I would just add them straight across. 5 plus 4a over a. So that's the way my brain sees it, but you know, this is the way we kind of taught it. If that helps, use it. And if it's confusing, ignore it. Okay? We got 5 plus 4a over a. That's what this is. Now we can see how we're going to flip this, right? So I'm going to multiply that by a over 5 plus 4a. But what does this thing become? Let's do it right here. What's the common denominator? A times 2a plus 1. Okay? How many times does a go into this thing? 2a plus 1 times. Minus, how many times does 2a plus 1 go into this common denominator? A times. Okay? Everybody happy? So that's what this is. That's what this is. It's this divided by that. So I'm going to multiply it and flip it. Okay, no more fractions. Now it's all multiplied. No more divide either. All right? Everybody good? Can I do this? As long as you do that. So maybe we better not. Okay? What would I do here? Now I know some people are going to go, wait a minute. Don't you want to leave it like that? You don't want to multiply it together. You want to leave it factored. But do I have a 2a plus 1 like in both places? There's a minus sign. Don't cancel this. Lots of you did this on the quiz. Don't. You can't. Okay? There's a minus here. Unless it's here too, you can't cancel this. All I can do is tell you again. Don't do it. Doesn't work. Okay? Here's my example again. If I got 4 plus 2 over 2, I know that's 3. That's 6 over 2. That's 3, right? If I do that, it's not 3 anymore. It's 4. Okay? You can't change it. Right? Because there's a minus here. You can't cancel this unless you had it over here too. It's not over there, so don't cancel it out. All right. So we have to expand this out. Okay? I'm going to get some a's here if I multiply this. There's some a's there. I can simplify this. Okay? So I want to go 20a plus 10 minus 12a all over a, 2a plus 1, times, I can't really do anything with this yet, Okay, I got some A's to collect. What's 20 apples take away 12 apples? 8 apples times A times 5 plus 4A. Okay, what can I do now? I'll take a 2 out. Okay, that's 4A plus 5. Hey, have I seen that somewhere before? Times A all over A times